Hello, my name's Caleb Barney. I'm a realtor with Russell Real Estate, and today I wanted to go over something called the Consumer Guide to Agency Relationships. This form right here is actually required by the state of Ohio for us agents to go over with anybody that we're working with. So basically, it is not a contract and it doesn't obligate you to use me or my brokerage. And same thing if you're going over this with another agent. But because you're buying or selling a home might be your largest financial transaction and probably is, it's important to understand the roles of the agents and the brokers with whom you'll be working. So essentially there are four types of agency that are allowed in the state of Ohio. We have seller agency, buyer agency, dual agency, and an in-company split agency. And today, or in this video, I'm actually going to go over seller agency and buyer agency. So for seller agency, that's when basically most sellers, they choose to list their homes for sale with a real estate brokerage. And when they do so, they sign a listing agreement that authorizes that brokerage and the listing agent that they're working with to represent their interests. So the seller's agent or listing agent, they have to follow the seller's lawful instructions, be loyal to the seller, promote the seller's best interests, disclose material facts to the seller, maintain confidential information, act with reasonable skill and care, and account for any money that they handle in the transaction. So this is when you're looking to sell and you're working with a listing agent or a seller's agent. The buyer's agency, they actually have the exact same duties and obligations for a buyer's agent to work with a buyer, but they have a few extra notes here just for warning. But essentially it says that buyers are advised to investigate the physical condition of the property and all public records to determine its condition and suitability before purchasing it. So while agents can definitely help with certain things, ultimately it comes down to the buyers, and it's going to be your responsibility to investigate that should you want to. Also, there are such things such as contemporaneous offers, and basically what that means is, say you're a buyer and you're working with me as a buyer's agent, I might have 5 other buyers who are interested in the same property that you are. If they happen to write on that property, write an offer, and then you also want to write an offer on that property, I would actually have to notify you in writing that I am working with somebody else and writing an offer on the same property. You're allowed to either ask to work with another agent at that point, or you can move forward if we have the rapport and you feel comfortable with me. But just know that I'm not actually going to be permitted to disclose the identity of the other buyers or the terms of their offer to purchase. So I can't say, hey, this is what they made an offer for. If you want to beat it, here's what you have to go in at. And likewise, I wouldn't do the same thing for them either and tell them your offer. That's confidential information. And then just as a heads up, notice to the buyer that many sellers today, they do utilize voice or visual recording equipment. So with that being said, make sure that you are not saying any comments that you wouldn't want the seller or their agent to hear. Don't discuss any confidential information, and don't make any comments that might be viewed as negative in regards to the property. Also, keep in mind that while you're viewing the property, both your agent and yourself, you're actually not allowed to record video, Skype, do anything like that without the seller's or the listing agent's written approval of doing so. So, we always have to make sure that if we're taking video, we have express written permission from both the seller and the listing agent then. So that's seller agency and buyer agency. In the next video, I'm actually going to go over dual agency and in-company split agency, as well as how brokers are compensated and what the fair housing statement is going to be.